Let's talk about the Knuckles series. I just finished all 6 episodes. All of this is non-spoilered. I'll go through positives, negatives, then break down what I think Paramount should do going forward. Overall, I had a fun time with the Knuckles show, but I have some constructive criticism. Let's start with the pros. Knuckles is fantastic as ever here. Idris Elba still brings all the charisma and charm you expect, and I appreciate how they get Knuckles to really learn to accept Earth as his new home. Even though he gets a bit too much screen time, I enjoyed Wade here and the dynamic he has with Knuckles. I felt like their friendship was genuine, and I appreciate that they equally learned from each other. Knuckles is great alongside any character, but this show is at its best when it's these two specifically. Agents Mason and Willoughby, played by Kid Cudi and Ellie Taylor, were definitely my most pleasant surprise of the show. I think without question, they are the best human characters in the Paramount Sonic franchise. They were entertaining every time they showed up, and they added to the lore in a way I didn't expect. Also, connecting to the agents, the combat sequences were surprisingly better than I thought they would be. I low-key think these are the best fight scenes they've done, really showcasing Knuckles' abilities. The CGI too is top-notch throughout. Chief Pachacamac was used in a really interesting way in this show. They take a lot of creative liberty, but he was such a fun presence in the few moments he showed up. I wish we got a bit more of him. And you can tell Christopher Lloyd clearly had a ton of fun in the booth voicing him. And to wrap up positives, episodes 1, 2, and 6 were my favorites, and when I felt this show was at its best. Not surprising due to episode 1 being directed by Jeff Fowler, as well as these episodes being written by John Whittington, one of the co-writers of Sonic movies 2 and 3. Now let's get into the cons. This show takes a big nosedive in quality across episodes 3, 4, and 5. They sideline Knuckles consistently for what is at best, forgettable comedy, and at worst, insufferable trash. Why did we need episode 3 to be fully dedicated to a dinner with Wade's family? Why is Wade's sister the most unlikable, condescending, cruel character without a single redeeming quality? I feel bad for her actress, man. She was given nothing to work with, just playing a stereotypical mean girl the entire show. And speaking of nothing to work with, why is Rory McCann, the Hound from Game of Thrones, non-existent here? He shows up briefly in episodes 1 and 5, and then is just out of nowhere the final boss in the last episode with zero build-up. He's great in his moments, but why even make him this big bad when he feels so detached from everything else going on? Just a colossal waste of a great actor. Same with Carrie Ooles as Wade's dad, just being a cartoonish jackass. Why did they have the caucasity to reveal some of the coolest lore in the Paramount Sonic franchise, but diminish it immediately through the lens of a musical in episode 4? Why do Sonic and Tails only show up for 5 total minutes across the show's 3-hour runtime? I get it, it's called Knuckles, but you threw away the potential for awesome character dynamics with Team Sonic for ideas that were way less interesting. And I feel like the answer to all of these questions is simple. This show never should have been 6 episodes. Half of this show feels like it knew what it wanted to be, and the other half feels like filler because they needed to fill an episode quota. Remember after Sonic Movie 2 released on digital and they dropped that cute little animation drone home? That should have been the blueprint for any type of spin-off. I would have loved an hour mini-movie focused on Team Sonic growing up together in that animation style. Or this show could have just been much shorter, focused on Knuckles and Wade versus the agents as an hour-and-a-half mini-movie, and that also would have been miles better than this. Again, I don't regret watching Knuckles. I did have a good time with this show, and I do think that the hyperbole around this show is making it way worse than it actually is. This is not even remotely the worst Sonic product to me, but the fact that the bad moments here are so bad, it's making me reevaluate Chris from Sonic X, the 3rd season of Sonic Prime, or the wedding scene in Sonic Movie 2 as not this bad. If you are forcing me to see how low the bar can be, that is a problem. I just can't shake the feeling like what we got here not only should have been better, but deserved better, considering there are some great ideas here. And I hate that half of what's great in this show is kneecapped by irrelevant junk. If you remember a few weeks ago, articles were going around talking about Paramount executives saying that they want to make a Sonic cinematic universe, and believe me, I'm all for it. But if shows are going to be part of their vision going forward, then they need to be better than this. If the running rumor is true that the next limited series after movie 3 will be focused on Shadow, and it ends up being just like Knuckles where half of it is fun and the other half is forgettable to inexcusably garbage, I won't watch it. I'll put my foot down, respond with my wallet, and I refuse to accept these shows being lazy cash-ins that do not give their best effort. I have hope that they'll take the criticism, both constructive and not. Paramount Sonic has only gotten better when they listen to fan feedback, and I hope they take how people feel into consideration going forward. If they want us to care about a Sonic cinematic universe, don't dilute it with half-assed shows shows like this. Lean in on the animation and the fun of these characters. Don't force episode counts when so much more could be done with mini movies and animated shorts. And please bring back the agents for things going forward. They are easily the best original human characters yet, and I definitely need both Taylor and Cuddy to return for more chaos in these roles. Knuckles was a good time, but it could have been better. So let's hope Paramount takes our feedback and uses it to improve the next series. If you got some free time and have moderate expectations for what the show actually is, Knuckles might be a good time for you. But if not, you can skip it and get hyped for movie 3. We should be getting a trailer for that any day now, and I cannot wait to talk about it. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy Knuckles? Do you have other critiques? Let me know how you feel down below. Love y'all. Have a blessed one.